Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, exploring the glitz and glam of the Upper East Side for the very first time. I'm the greenhorn, the new kid on the block, I don't know, Leif, what do you call the newbie in Gossip Girl terms?
I think they label you as a project. You know, the type of girl has a potential to be a Blairite.
Well, then dress me up in an Eleanor Waldorf original and let's get started.
Sounds good.
So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been a fan of Gossip Girl since the very beginning, and I'm watching for the very first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, dissecting all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
That's right. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the show, looking at all the obscure references, parallels, and of course the couture catastrophes. We're also going to be looking at some of the behind-the-scenes gossip and some stories from fandom.
And since we're all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always room for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab a mimosa, a cup of coffee, or some of Nate and Chuck's special medicine if it's that kind of morning, and let's get into this.
Well, Steve, we are one season into Gossip Girl.
Yeah, the season 1 is complete. That's kind of big, not only for us. It's also kind of, it's a podcasting milestone to, a lot of podcasts don't make it past their first 10 episodes. And here we are at 19 with this.
Yes.
So
this will be our 19th episode, and it was a fun ride, and glad you guys joined us for the ride, and hope you continue listening all the way through 6 seasons.
Yeah. It has been a lot of fun so far.
So, Steve, what are your overall thoughts on season 1?
Season 1 was a fun show. I've mentioned a couple times that I feel almost like if they decided to say this was it, period on the end of the sentence, that this was a very nicely wrapped, tightly done season. And that could have been a mini-series.
Yeah.
I would have...
Up until the flash forward.
Yeah, I would have completely cut Georgina Sparks out of it if I was doing that mini-series, or at least, done that better.
But if you're going to cut Georgina, what method? I mean, we talked about this a little bit. We predicted before, but now that we're here, how would you have broken up Dan and Serena a different way if there was no Georgina?
Yeah, well, I mean, for one, I feel like there are other ways to break Dan's trust, right? And maybe if it was Georgina, I feel like the way it was done just wasn't really always believable. She didn't make me really believe what was happening during a lot of that.
Yeah, that is an issue, but I mean,
and I do think that something like a Nate and Serena thing could have happened. Mm-hmm. A Serena and Chuck thing could have happened, but that I would just really, that would, in season 1 anyway, that would just really bother me.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we said this on camera or off camera about my major prediction going forward, which, I know we're going to talk about these things more later, but the number one prediction I have is that they're all going to fuck eventually. That everybody is going to eventually. That's my main prediction. But I'm glad that there was nothing like that. That there was no romance with Serena or Chuck at all.
We stuck to the core couples for the first season at least. And overall, it was a very well-plotted show from this first episode to the last episode. It was definitely an OC light.
Yeah.
And at the end of that, it looks like they're going to reset everything, and where's it going to go from here?
Yeah. And I also really like that because it kind of took a lot of the pressure off the off of watching the next season. Just knowing, like, well, this main couple we've been following is now done. That kind of takes a little pressure off. Because I'm not rooting for that couple anymore. Maybe I will again later, but I'm not now because they're done.
But the weirdest thing, like, it made it seem like Chuck and Blair were going to replace them, and then they just broke them up right away, which is weird.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Although I still feel like Chuck and Blair aren't done. I can't imagine that is done by any means. I am like Serena and Nate.
Speaking of Chuck and Blair, let's move on to the chemistry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ed and Leighton had fantastic chemistry all first season.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And not just in their flirtiness, but just the way that they can
banter back and forth.
Yeah, the way that they could just match each other's energy at all times. And just
when it was Blair and Nate was just like, I'm gonna go smoke some weed now.
Yeah. I really don't think that Chase Crawford was a bad actor in this. I don't think that Chase Crawford was given much to go on. I feel like,
and his character just wasn't a good match for Blair either.
No, it was just that power couple thing, and that they both,
it's all about status.
Exactly. And now there's no status behind the Archibald name anymore, and there's also, mixed status of being with Blair Waldorf right now. She's earning her place back at the top, but she had that wobbly point there for a few episodes.
Mm-hmm. What about acting? Who stood out for you acting wise?
Well, Leighton Meester was spectacular. She always owned the scene, and kudos also to the costuming and makeup that they gave her, because her makeup was always perfect. Her makeup was always, I think about that one scene where she's kind of lost everything and she's just pale and sad. And
in line between in episode 13, where she's just walking through the park and just like slow motion.
And it just captures, and so it just really captured everything her face did, and she could do so much with just her face. The other standout was Taylor Momsen. Taylor Momsen's acting was, even when everyone in the scene would kind of be choking, I think specifically to the Dan finding the letter that breaks up Allison and Rufus, where
Alex,
the letter from Alex, and I feel like there was a lot of really clunky writing and acting in that scene, and Taylor just in the background, no lines, nothing but just being present
and reacting
to everything. Which, that's like the number one rule of acting is react. But so those two really stood out. For the adults, I have to go with Kelly Rutherford.
Yes,
Kelly Rutherford. I loved pretty much every scene she was in. I always felt like she owned that character and owned the scenes that she was in, even when her writing was shaky, which there were many times that Lily's writing was really shaky, but
it was all over the place.
But she kept the character consistent through those writing errors.
I would agree with those three. On the adult side, I'll also add Margaret Collins, who played Eleanor Waldorf. That was definitely a good recasting from the pilot. She had a lot of heavy lifting to do. Like there's some serious stuff. Having a daughter that's struggling with body dysmorphia that you're causing, having. I'm looking forward to seeing that relationship develop more too between Blair and Eleanor.
Yeah.
Because they definitely act well together. I mean, Leighton works well with everyone pretty much.
Yeah.
From the kid's side, I will also add Penn when he's getting something good to work with. He gets lazy at times.
Yeah.
When he's not interested, you can tell when he's being lazy. But when he's interested, he's definitely just as good, if not better, than the other two kids.
Well, and my a lot of what I feel with Penn, not only Penn, but also with Blake and with Ed, is that the three of them have moments of greatness throughout this, but they also all have moments of I'm just going with what was written for me. Like you said, when it gets lazy,
I think Ed is fairly limited. He's good at like the one-liners and the quippiness, but I just can't. He's not really acting.
Right, and he's good at like the seething, the
hurting, bad boy.
Yeah,
but he's not really doing much emoting other than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he plays the character.
Well, yeah.
But I haven't really seen much emoting yet. Unlike the other three. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Well, anything else you would add before we move over to the grades?
I do want to bring up, which we've talked about off screen a bit, that I have a discrepancy with the Lincoln Hawk timeline. That the way that these songs are written, if he was one of the most forgotten bands of the 90s and he's following into this style of what I relate to the mid to late 90s, the acoustic guitar paired with an electric guitar with the build in the chorus to the lower and also having like a lower bridge, having a lower verses, having the verses come down, but also hitting the brakes a bit and pulling back on the bridge. All of these things really put that band in with like Counting Blue Cars by I can't think of their name off the top of my head, but the
Counting Crows.
What?
Counting Crows?
No, it wasn't Counting Crows, but I also put it into that category. Like August and Everything After came out in like 93, I think.
Which, right before we recorded, I think we nailed it that he was on tour and had those big hits after Dan was born.
Yeah, which that was the real big thing, is that I really feel like those songs, whether they were written before or just became big before, is the big question in play. Was he, because Dan would have been born in 1990, and we know that Allison was at home with the kids while Rufus was out touring, because Allison had told us that when they were breaking up. So
when were the lyrics written?
Yeah, when were these lyrics written? Which the lyrics are all about Lily. I mean, we know that Rosewood is about Lily. We know that every time sounds like it's about Lily. And there's also the chance that these songs were written in the late 80s, but when a producer heard them in the mid 90s was like, this is how this song
But I get the impression that Allison was home on tour and Rufus was on tour with Lily.
I get that impression too. That was always my thought. And it's like, hey babe, I'm writing songs about you while I'm on the road. They're definitely about you, Allison.
It's your sandalwood.
Yeah, yeah. Because you have a perfume that's also a kind of wood. Babe.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to the episode rankings by grade.
Okay. I'm very curious about this.
Yes. So any guesses on best, worst episodes?
I'm thinking that the best might be thin line between Chuck and Nate. I think we both gave that an A. I would think the worst is maybe that Georgina Sparks one. Maybe the one we did with Shannon, the number 17. I think it was either 16 or 17 that I think we both gave C's. I know Georgina Sparks has to have the lowest grade.
So, I don't think, was she actually in this episode? I don't think she was. In 18th place, with a 1.83 GPA.
Ooh.
Episode 15, Desperately Seeking Serena.
Oh.
That was the SAT episode.
That's the SAT episode.
That was the one right before.
No, that's Georgina. That's where she messes up the SATs for Serena.
Yeah, but she doesn't actually show up. I think that's
no, that's the first one with her because she's out partying with her
right.
and drugs her.
Yeah. The next episode with a 2.67, a bit of a jump up there. All About My Brother.
Yeah. Which again was in the Georgina Sparks era.
That's the very next episode.
Yeah.
And then this one was kind of surprising to me. In 16th place, The Handmaiden's Tale with a 2.83.
Huh. You know, I guess that kind of makes sense because I feel like that was a dip during a really good period for the show.
Yeah.
That's not the ball, the masquerade, is it?
Yes.
It is. Oh, right, where nobody can tell who anybody is because they're wearing masks.
Yeah. Yes.
Great masks.
We'll see if that gag comes back again.
Oh, I doubt it.
Never.
I couldn't imagine them reusing old material like that. Like they did for the entire first season of the show.
In 15th place with a 2.89 GPA, Woman on the Verge, episode 17. That was the episode with Shannon.
That's the episode with Shannon. That's the one where Georgina, well,
that's where we find out,
that's the sex tape that we're blaming Serena for.
Yes. The
invasion of privacy. How dare your privacy be invaded?
You pass someone their own drugs.
Yeah.
That
you wanted nothing to do with.
And then we get a tie for 13th place, both with a 3.0. Episode 4, Bad News Blair, and episode 18, Much I Do About Nothing.
Yeah.
So it was the fashion shoot episode and, of course, the finale.
Yeah. Which both I've landed pretty solid B ranking from us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then tied for 11th place, we get 2 episodes with a 3.17 GPA. Episode 11, Roman Holiday, and episode 14, Blair Bitch Project.
Yeah, both, on that higher end.
Yeah.
Good episodes.
In 9th place, we got another tie, 2-way tie, with 3.33 GPA, episode 5, Daredevil, and episode 8, 17 Candles.
Yep. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
We're moving up here. And then 2-way tie for 7th place with 3.5 GPA. We get the pilot episode and episode 12, School Lives, which is the pool episode.
The swimming pool, and nobody says anything.
And then a 2-way tie for 5th place. We got with a 3.67 GPA, The Wild Brunch, and A Thin Line Between Chuck and Nate.
Yeah.
Decent episodes. And we're moving up here to the A range, tied for second, the 3-way tie for second. We have with a 4.0, Victor Vitrola.
Yeah, love that one.
Blair Waldorf Must Pie, and High Society.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The CC episode. Yeah, that one. Yeah, those are so good.
So that only leaves first place. Any thoughts? Any guesses?
You know what? I wish I was paying more attention this whole time because now I don't remember what you haven't said yet.
a 4.17 GPA.
4.17 to be that good. Is it the Christmas episode?
No, we already said that.
Oh, yeah, that's Roman Holiday.
It is Poison Ivy.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the college episode 3.
Yes.
I love that.
Very good.
I had so much fun with that one.
Here's the graph.
Yeah. Excellent. Zoom in on that.
And then let's see what we got. We'll do next here. We got Stock Watch or Best Outfit.
Let's do Stock Watch.
Okay. Yay. So any guesses on worst and best?
As far as parents go, I'm assuming the Archibalds are in the trash. And I would assume Lily is on the higher end because she's had some great redemption stuff. As far as the kids go, Chuck has got to be in the bottom. Blair's probably kind of close to the bottom. And I would think Dan and Jenny would probably be near the top. I feel like Jenny has often been, she's gone down a couple of times, but I feel like she's usually on the up trajectory.
Yeah. It's fairly accurate. So the season started out with Dan and Serena very hot, but the last few episodes, they both were tanking.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right on. Right at the bottom, 27th and 26th place, we have the captain at -9 and Anne at -8.
Yeah. Yep.
And then next up at 25, she was only on for how little episodes she was in, Allison at -7. No one liked Allison.
Allison was terrible.
Yes. And then we have Rufus at -3.
Ooh, wow. That is actually a little surprising because Rufus had a lot of up moments.
He was decent at the beginning of the season, but as soon as he started trying to parent Jenny, he started tanking hard.
Yeah, it was parenting Jenny was taking hard, and also the entire Brit Bex. That entire episode where he can't
that deserves a -5 on its own.
Yeah.
And then also only in one episode, Cece at -2.
Yep. Cece sucked.
And then we got a pretty big tie at 14th. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people at -1. And they are Chuck, Eleanor, the Ostroff Center, Carter, Alex, the Hudson neighbor, Miss Queller, the headmistress, Bex, Asher, and Lisa Loeb.
Because she was the opening act.
She catches a stray. Lisa Loeb catches a stray.
Sorry, Lisa. I love you.
And then somehow Georgina ending the season at a net 0. Georgina.
Wow. Yeah, because she did have those times where her stock.
She was winning. Yeah, she was winning a lot at there early on.
Yeah, like she was terrible. She was terrible, but she was winning.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And then tie for 10th place. We got the couple of the show, Harold and Ramon at 1. And also the Minions also at 10th place there.
Okay.
At +1.
I feel like they deserve maybe a little more love throughout the season here and there.
Yeah. They showed up a little more on the best outfits, thanks to you mostly.
Yeah.
And then we got at 9th place, Blair, +2.
Yeah, that tracks. It would be low, but she's had her gains.
She ends in the positive though.
And when she because when she gains, she really gains. You know?
And then our favorite bass, Bart, with a +3.
Yep, that also makes sense. Bart has, not really been a bad dude. He's definitely been winning on this.
Yeah, he got married.
Yeah, he got married.
And then...
But did he let the building go?
And tied for 6th place, the 2 Vanderwoodson women, Serena and Lily, +6.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm glad to see that Lily ended up in the positive like that, too.
Yeah.
Because she did, she
started off rough.
She started off really rough, but then, had some really great redemption arcs with her parenting this whole season.
Yeah. And then we got somehow, this is going to be controversial, in 5th place, our least favorite Brooklynite with +7, Vanessa.
Vanessa has +7?
I don't know.
I do. It's, who I blame? Georgina fucking Sparks.
Yeah.
It's Georgina's fucking fault that Vanessa ever looked good. God damn it, Michelle.
Then we got tied for 3rd place at +8, Dan and Nate.
Okay. Yep. Now I expected them both to be high. Nate has, gone down a couple times, but for the most part, Nate is either doing nothing or doing a good guy Nate shit. So, he tends to be, going up or just staying neutral.
So, it looks like the 2 freshmen are head of the class. One's first and one's second. Jenny and Eric, which one do you think's first? Which one do you think second?
I think Eric's going to be first because I don't think Eric has ever gone down at all. And I know Jenny has had a couple down episodes. So I'm going to say Eric. I'm going to say Eric is number 1.
All right, I'm going to say, so number 2 is +9, number 1 is +12.
Oh, I'm going to flip it. Only because of the number of episodes Eric was on compared to Jenny. So I'm going to say Jenny's our number 1.
That is correct. Jenny is first and Eric is second with +9. So Jenny with +12 the end of the first season.
Wow. Now, when we go into season 2, do we keep track on 2 charts of just season 2 and then an overall?
Yeah.
I think that would make sense.
Pretty easy to do that.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Probably do it on the same spreadsheet.
Well, I mean, it's just take the sum of one and add it to the sum of the other one. Yeah. And then you get it overall.
Yeah.
Just adding 2 numbers together.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty easy
math guy, folks. It's very well established.
All right. So it's time for some fashion, folks.
All right. The best episodes of season 1.
So who do you think was the best dressed?
I mean, Blair. Overall, whether or not we gave her the love she deserved on a whole, because of all of our honorable mentions and all of those sorts of things, Blair is just the best dressed throughout the entire first season. I know she didn't always win our best dressed, because there are a lot of times there's something else that was on that may have outshined, but as a whole, I would say Blair probably takes it.
Okay. Definitely a fair assumption. So there's only one main cast member who got 0, and that'd be Rufus. So
I did like the shirt, Rufus. I did like the snap-up roses shirt. And I like the one with the roses, and I like the snap-up shirt. I like both, Rufus.
Yeah, the roses was really bad.
I loved it.
That was about 50 years too late.
Loved it. I would wear that shirt today.
In 13th place with half a point is
13th place, half a point. Yeah,
because you gave one to Cody and his, so I split it. I gave them each half a point.
Oh, okay.
Then we get a pretty decent tie. Wait, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie for 7th place, all with 1 point. Dan, Nate, Vanessa, Ramon, Georgina, and Laurel. Laurel was was Eleanor's like assistant.
Yeah, in the
Episode 4.
Yeah.
In 6th place, Cotty with 1.5 points.
All right.
In 5th place, we got Jenny with 3 points.
Okay.
4th place, we got Lily with 5 points.
Yeah, Lily knows how to dress.
And then the top 3 are Serena, Chuck, and Blair.
Are they all tied?
No.
Oh. So I'm gonna stick with Blair. Then I'm gonna say Chuck, then Serena.
Serena and Chuck are actually tied for 2nd with 6 points each, and you are correct. Blair has 9 points.
Yeah. Blair is just always, well, like, she always looks good. Every outfit she wears is meticulous. And I feel like that's very much a character thing, that Blair goes to bed wearing pajamas that look good, that Blair is always photo ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is a character trait of hers. And Serena looks nice when she needs to.
Yeah.
You know, and not that Serena doesn't dress and with, style, and not that she's not dressing in her way, but it's not the fashion that always pops. And I don't think that's Serena's character. That Serena's character wears the nice stuff when she's getting dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
And probably is wearing, $14,000 jeans when she's walking around in jeans with, a $4,000 t-shirt over it.
Serena has nice clothes, and she definitely has a style, but Blair dresses for the occasion. Her outfits have a purpose.
And for Blair, that occasion can be waking up.
Yeah.
Like that, or going to bed, or taking out the trash. Not that Blair has ever taken out trash a day in her life.
Anyway, Steve, any favorite music moments?
I mean, obviously, I absolutely squealed when I finally got to hear Lincoln Hawk play. And that same episode, Lisa Loeb, the whole "Shut Up, Michelle, I want to hear Lisa Loeb perform." But that episode in general, but just great use of their soundtrack. The opening shot with Serena, and episode 1,
all the young folks,
all the young folks, and
Sub 41 in episode 7 in the limo.
I was also thinking of the EMFDM. What's the acronym, or is it MGMT?
MGMT.
Yeah.
Time to Pretend, you mean? That song?
I forget. The
finale?
Yes. Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of.
With their setting up the wedding.
Yeah.
MGMT, Time to Pretend.
Yeah. It just, just a great use of that song.
It definitely places you in the time period.
Exactly. And also when they played Ed Westwick's band, I thought that was really cool that they incorporated that into the show, and that they did that for a cast member. Like, hey, let me play your music on here too. But all in all, I felt like they were really good at keeping the music as hip as the clothing, and as up to date, and as much a piece of the pop culture as every other aspect of this show.
Yeah. I also liked the quasi Lincoln Hawk song they played for Dan and Serena's first kiss.
Yeah. The one that ended up being by a Philadelphia local, right?
Yeah.
That song also that took us out of that one episode. That once again, he's listening to that thinking about Lily. So like that album was clearly about Lily.
So any thoughts on season 2? Any predictions?
They're all gonna fuck. I mean, that's my number one prediction, is that like
anything specific for season 2?
Well, I'm really, really hoping that this Dan and Vanessa thing doesn't take up too much of the season. I know it's got to happen, but I'm hoping that someone can break them up because I want Dan in the Upper East Side. I don't want him in Brooklyn for a season. And which, oh, go ahead.
No, I agree. 'Cause that would split up the show.
And the alternative to me is even worse, is that it doesn't split up the show, and Vanessa and Dan are showing up to these parties where there's absolutely no fucking reason for them either to be there.
Yeah.
In my everybody's going to fuck theory, I really hope that Vanessa and Dan come to an end because of Blair. That's my hope. And I also
like they hook up, or because Blair just doesn't like them together.
Because Blair doesn't like them together, and so then they hook up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think maybe a revenge thing on Vanessa for something that she hasn't done yet, or that she doesn't know that she has already done. I don't think Blair needs much of a reason to fuck with someone.
Do you see Vanessa hooking up with anyone else besides Dan?
I don't know, because like I don't see her. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, eventually Chuck. Eventually it's going to happen. Eventually she's going to lose her moral high ground and she's going to sleep with Chuck. I would like to see Nate and Jenny play out, especially if now that Jenny is, going to turn 16 this year. It's not quite as disgusting off camera. It's still really gross off camera. But I really liked that.
I think
friendship.
she's only turning 15.
What? She turned 15 this season, right? So her birthday in the next season she turned 16, I think.
I thought she was 13 at the start.
Oh, is she? I thought she was 14. Okay, you could be right. Well, because I was thinking 9th grade is usually 14 to 15.
It is.
Not always, though, but usually, especially if your birthday's that late in the school year.
Oh, yeah, I think she's actually younger than the character.
Yeah. Yeah, the age difference is gross there. It's story-wise.
What about Chuck? What's Chuck's next move?
I mean, Chuck is going to keep pretending that he's not in love with Blair, and he's going to, do his wild summer doing whatever, and then come back and realize that he wants Blair back, but Blair's probably onto something better. He's probably onto that flight guy who, flip you for the jump seat. We didn't even talk about how sexual that sounded in the first when we did the episode last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming, and I think Chuck is going to continue to be gross. But I think he's always going to have this thing for Blair. I also think he's going to, like I said, something with him and Vanessa, something with him and Serena eventually, I think will maybe work its way in. I'm wondering if we're going to see old Serena more. That if now that Dan's not keeping her grounded, if we're going to see her go back to her old party ways.
What about Nate? Anything for Nate next season? Or are you just going to sit around and brood some more?
Well, I'm hoping that Nate gets a little more closure with his family. I don't know. I'm assuming his dad jumped that plane that he was going to and got out of there. But and I think that the Nate Serena thing could be nice for a little bit. I think that's two people that really kind of deserve each other in certain ways. Like,
they do definitely make sense.
They make a lot of sense. They're both the royalty. They're both these, the American royalty, like these couples tend to be. And they're both good people trying to be good.
Yeah.
I think that they do make a lot of sense. I'm assuming we're going to get some new characters popping in here and there, or old ones popping in to fuck things up.
I mean, there's definitely plenty of side characters, but I don't think there's any new main cast in season 2.
I'm thinking of the level of like Carter and Georgina that are going to pop in for an episode here and there or a small arc. And maybe not. Maybe it's just those two coming back, and for a little while anyway, because I know one of them gets fired. I know Carter gets fired.
But he'll come back at some point.
Yeah.
He's not dead yet. Any additional thoughts? Anything else you want to add?
Not that I can really think of right now. I mean, I think that I'm excited for season 2. Robin is really mad I'm not going to be home tonight because she's dying to get into season 2. And yeah, I am predicting we're going to have more guests on our show next season.
Yes, should be fun.
Yeah, we have a few people lined up, and so we're going to try to do that.
Anything you want to plug?
At this point, I don't think I have much other than check out my socials, steve.marchand at Instagram or TikTok, MARCHION, and can also find me on Facebook or anything like that. Come find me, listen to my music, and see the other stuff I'm posting.
You can follow me on Instagram at HotCapicola, on Twitter, LeafSS, or on Threads at HotCapicola. You can follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, or Threads at non-judging breakfast pod, and on Twitter at NJBpod. And if you want to take a seat at the non-judging breakfast pod table, you can just join us on Facebook by searching for non-judging breakfast pod.
Yeah, and if you have any questions for us or comments or just want to contribute to the conversation, please feel free to send us an email at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear your thoughts and read what you have to say here on the podcast. And also, please make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share the links. And more than anything else, please tell a friend that you're listening to us and get them into the non-judging breakfast pod and get more people sitting at our table.
Rate, review, subscribe. And in 2 weeks, we will be talking about Season 2, Episode 1, Summer Kind of Wonderful. The Max episode preview reads, Gossip Girl heads to the Hamptons, talked about White Party. Exciting.
Yeah, I am definitely excited. I do completely know the reference, and I am excited to start season 2.
Until next time, you know you love us. XOXO.
Take care.
Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me